awesome. At Ariza from now to September 30th, you can get a loan up to the value of $25,000, $35,000, or $50,000. Awesome! You think that's all the awesomeness? Apply and get your loan in no time. Awesome! Now you can graduate, celebrate, rejuvenate, and send your kids through the school gate looking awesome. Join today, or members come in to access your awesome August loan. Terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union, your financial freedom, your future. Trust me.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians! From wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up, several notches. But the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
Yeah. Right along live, welcome to the ride. Welcome to Tuesday on the ride. Yeah, happy to be back. Whoa. Bumpy ride, put on your seatbelt. At followers, everybody. Yeah, man, listen, guys. Whoa. Let me tell you guys. Just came in from Grenada Carnival, and it was such a blast, so amazing. Had such a fabulous time. Yeah, man. Let me tell you, you know if you have or if you had a really good time in Grenada. If you came back and you host, you lost your voice, you're sick, you have IV, everything. You can't walk for a couple days. You can't even do the program. That's to tell you guys, I overdid it. Yeah, but I'm back. Yo! Happy to be back in the air chair. Nice, Lacey, Jay. How you? Ava, inside. Tag somebody, guys. Tag somebody quick. Tag somebody, because we're gonna have a very interesting conversation here today. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting conversation. Darky, how you doing? Shirley, how you doing? Shirley Ann Lorraine, how are you? Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, so yesterday I was down and out. I came from, this is my itinerary, guys. This is the life of a madman. Came from Grenada with everything that I had to do there. I flew to Florida. I had a massive event there for the Trinidad and Tobago Independence Committee. Flew back to New York. The night after, I had another engagement in the morning time. So I had absolutely no rest. So yesterday, I tried to pick up myself and say, you know what, I will come and do the show. My body said no, not happening. So I had to obey my body, right? So I appreciate you guys. Shouting me out yesterday and wishing me well. But I really had to take the day off yesterday. Jackie Chaitan, how you doing? Big up yourself. Thank you so much. Yeah, flew. And he ain't stopped yet, because I'm heading to Canada. Then we head into London. It's just non-stop. But this is the life we signed up for, right? So we can't complain. I'm not complaining. Nice. Yeah. All right, guys. Deanne Fraser, how you doing? Big up yourself. Tag somebody, guys. Tag somebody. So today we're going to talk to a gentleman who who for the past few days, really his name or him, his actions, the alleged actions, I should say, has been trending on social media. A lot of people take an emotional or have a very emotional effect to the story because the person in question or the alleged victim in this particular case here is someone that possibly you know very well. So the story went viral. I'll explain it in a nutshell shortly. So my headphones, come on headphone. No, it's not the time. All right, here we go. So after we posted that we were going to be speaking to the individual, a lot of you guys connected with me and say, why? Why do we have to hear the other side of the story? Why do you even want to entertain a conversation with this particular person? And I had to remind everybody, this is Ride Along Live, right? From day zero, our mantra, our pledge, has always been where everyone have a story to tell. Everyone. It's not about me. It's about everyone sharing their story. So it is within what we pledge to do is what we're doing. So I'm surprised why a lot of you guys are surprised that we're doing exactly what we've been doing for the past 10 to 15 years. Hearing story, hearing the other side. Now, first let me say that a lot of people came here and expecting drama. A lot of people came here and expecting that there would be some kind of drama, some kind of cuss out, some kind of this and that. I want to disappoint you right now because there will be no drama. This conversation will be no drama, right? So if you came here expecting drama, just continue scrolling because that's not what it's about. I already spoke to my guests and articulated to my guests that we expect a respectful conversation on this matter here. The reason for us having this conversation is to have some kind of resolution. And it's funny that a lot of people knew about this happening for so long, right? People knew about it. And no one actually, that I'm aware of at this point in time, actually stepped in to see how they could mediate between the two, right? People like to see the dog fight. People like to see the chaos. Well, that's where we come in. Our obligation here for this program is to see how we could bring back some kind of neighborly love, right? And that is the sole purpose of me accepting to do this conversation here today. It's not about drama. It's not about confusion. It's about bringing back neighborly love. Before I say anything else, let me also say this. This platform here is a platform of neighborly love. We always preach, be good to your fellow man, be good to your neighbors. And this is the main reason why we exist, right? We always say, be good to your fellow man, be good to your neighbors. Your neighbor is important because if for some reason, late in the night, your house catch a fire, your neighbor house burning too. If, for instance, something happened to you at any given time of the day, your neighbor might be the only person there to rescue you. So it's always good to be good to your neighbors. So we are trying to mend neighborly relationship here. It's not about drama. It's not about confusion. It's about mending a broken relationship. And to do that, we are going to be speaking with the accused, the alleged gentleman in question in this particular story. Here is the story. Now, Mikey Hutchinson is a popular Grenadian broadcaster. He took to social media just a few days ago and articulated that he'd been having problems over the many years. But he just decided to come out because it became overbearing. The man said that he had enough. It was too much. He couldn't take it anymore. He specifically outlined and showed video evidence of his neighbor who is alleged to have been taking dog poop and throwing it into his pool. Now, where they both reside, they're like on this slope slant right here. the neighbor, the alleged in this particular case, you live about this area above where Mr. Hutchison lives, right at the bottom here. So from his vantage point, he could see, that is the area right here. In fact, I think I have, let me show you guys a better perspective of how the thing look. This is footage provided by Mr. Colin Perrott. So this is the whole setup. So where he lived, he could actually see into that area, the swimming pool area, and this general area of Mr. Hutchison, right? So this is his perspective. So the allegations are that over the years, Mr. Colin has been doing a number of things to him. He provided video evidence and circulated it on social media. The final thing that broke the camel back, as Mr. Hutchison stated, was that when he came and he saw dog poop in his pool, the pool where his kids play and have fun, right? I mean, this is something that they're going to agitate anybody, right? Me too. If I came there and I said, I wonder where the hell that come from, where the poop came from, right? So he's alleging that Mr. Colin Perrott is the culprit in this particular case. Over the past couple of days, he posted a number of videos showing the buildup of things that happen, a series of things that happen before, right? He showed video of instances where Mr. Colin was digging a drain or clearing a drain, and he was compromising the integrity of his gravel and sand that was on the side. We're going to talk about that. He showed videos of someone alleged, or probably is, Mr. Colin Perrott, zooming down the street in front of where he resides. He showed videos of dumping, which is alleged to have been dumping on his property, evidence. He also showed video of his property. It seems like someone chose some kind of something on the property that defaced the paint and the integrity of his property. Those are the allegations at present. So, I hope you guys are following the whole thing, right? So, today we have Mr. Colin and his wife, Marilyn, to tell their side of the story, because we already heard Mr. Hutchison's side of the story. And I think it's fair that we do that. So help me to welcome on the ride Along Live, where everyone have a story to tell, Colin and his wife, Marilyn. Colin.
Yes, sir.
Ride Along Live. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm happy to be here on the platform and to give an insight to the life and history of the issues I have been dealing with and continue to deal with the accusation and the many conflict which has been happening in this area, of my life, especially this time of my life, from the time the accused neighbor entered this area. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to help smoothen
the situation. Pretty much
the situation.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So again, we already spoke before. We already spoke about that. This is not about bashing anyone. We're just interested in seeing what happened from your perspective, because I do believe that you have a side of the story that need to be articulated. It's important, and I also believe that we spoke about the respect and how we coordinate this program on this conversation. And my purpose is to listen, mediate, ask questions, as the audience may do so as well. So tell us from the beginning, Colin, how this whole thing started from your memory, from your recollection.
Oh boy, it's a long list, but we're going to go on.
It's a long.
Well, the whole thing started a couple of years ago when this gentleman, our neighbor, moved into the area in 2018. Okay. He moved into the area and, he bought a land and he moved into the area. He cleared the land, okay, entirely. It was just the soil on the land. And in 20, he burned a lot of debris after a period of time, which affected us. A lot of tire debris, okay, debris with tires. And, once you burn tires, you get a lot of black smoke and a lot of debris that came into the house that caused us some very uncomfortable nights, to sleep and to breathe at the same time. We for some reason, we allowed this to happen for a couple of days within the week. But it happened on a Friday where he was to burn again and he was stopped. I spoke to him about it. No, I didn't speak. He stopped. He stopped on a Friday, but he returned on a Saturday to continue burning from the Friday. And at which time I had enough, and I thought we wasn't informed. We not aware what's happening. And of course, it's Saturday. We have to do our chores, our washing, our drying outside, and so forth. Back then, at the time, we almost just moved to the house. Okay, so we needed to dry clothes outside and so forth. So with him entering the property, his property at the bottom of the road, I went down and I approached him. I welcome him in the area. I understand, hey, you bought the land. I welcome you, but hey, today is not the day you should be burning, because you have been affecting us with the burning thus far. And this is weekend, I don't think it's a good time for you to burn, as a result of the weekend. Allow us, save yourself the problem. Do not burn today. You can come back some other time. I advise him when to come back. You can come back on Monday and you can burn from 7:30 or 9 o'clock to about 4:30. And at which time you could hold the fire. So the time we get home, we're not going to be affected by the smoke or the debris of the burning, because my wife, she's asthmatic. And listen, I had spoken to that gentleman very calmly. I told him what to do and what he shouldn't do. And I say, as a matter of fact, there's another neighbor over there. And when we bought our land, I had people clearing our land. And I did the very same. I burned when they went to work, and the time they were returning at work. As a matter of fact, I built a shed on the land to accommodate 2 men to clear the land for about 2 weeks. So I gave them strict orders, when to burn, when to out the fire, and there was water on the land at the time. So they had enough time, they had the equipment they need, they had the tools, as it is with water, to out the fire before the neighbor next door returned home. At the time, we wasn't living on the land, okay? We were living elsewhere. So this is how, however, that has happened. That hasn't really happened that way. I remember at one time, maybe the following week or two, I went to Guava in my photo business, called me and she said, Colin, I'm returning home, and from a distance from SOG Supermarket, Calvini Road, Wester Hall Road, I can see eight huge smokes up in the air. And she was annoyed. It's Friday after a hectic work week. So she called me in my shop. She said, Colin, I can't believe I'm going home and this is 8 fires, okay, burning from that land this man had cleared. So I called him. We had, at the time of, remember I said I had communication with him before. I called him and I said, hey, neighbor, what are you doing? I have spoken to you. This is not the time you should be doing that. Today's Friday. I got to be returning home. My wife had to return home. However, I don't remember what it was. I think I hung up the phone on him or something like that. I wasn't happy about it. However, when I got home from Guelph, drove from Guelph into St. George's to Calabini, I got home, I saw the issue. I said, listen, I have to take my wife away from the house, to get a fresh breed of energy. So I took her somewhere. I took her to some bar in Lansapine and to chill it for a while. We remained there till about minutes to 10 and came home. However, the damage was already done. All the debris, the smoke, and the ashes from the tire was already consumed inside the house. The countertop, the kitchen counter area, you could just pass your hand and you find this black, dirty ashes. Okay. But anyway, that came to a halt for a while. He stopped. However, the other issue building up to all of this tension and animosity and issues, we had a rain. We had a tropical depression in 2018, August 2018, when we had, there was a tropical depression within the Caribbean island, which affected Grenada. Okay. And there was a lot of rain that time. The whole of Grandlands was flooded out. The traffic system was all messed up. And St. David had a lot of landslide. And prior years before excavating the land, we cut a mountain behind of us, higher mountain point, to get the house to sit in. So we moved the soil to the front of the house, overlooking that neighbor. So the soil been sitting there for a couple of years, 2 or so years before he moved into the area. And with the said rain, okay, with the land the neighbor bought, we'd been totally cleared. A matter of fact, prior to the rain, what he did after clearing the land a bit, he dug a trench that was probably, let's say, approximately 100 feet long and about 3 feet wide by 3 feet deep. I remember a day prior to the tropical depression, which I wasn't aware. I went down there and had a look, observe what was happening. Something told me go have a look. And my observation, I could have seen the soil that's been dug up from between the road and his land, which is the boundary between, been separating, starting to separate. You could see a lot of water debris into that drain, because the land itself, which he bought, it's a leaching field. It's a piece of land that takes all the water that comes from above and sits right in that area. So there was, even though it was a dry season, there was already water residue based on the depth, which is common sense. I saw that. Unfortunately, I was a camera to take a picture. I didn't. But I saw the soil being break. I saw movements already and water. Well, however, the rain came, the tropical depression happened. And as a result of that, I went to work the following day. I came back. I went to work, and then I got a call. My wife told me the whole front of the soil embankment went down. Okay, that was involving young coconut trees, which I've planted to hold soil. And prior to that, Junior and your audience, right along life, I've said to my wife, whoever today, tomorrow, come move into the area and purchase that land. Okay, we wanted to purchase it, but we didn't see the need to avoid neighbor issue. But we let it pass. But anyway, as I was saying, I told my wife, whoever purchases this land today, tomorrow, we're going to embrace them, welcome them, and be family, be as a neighbor. Okay. And two, and this was my vision. And two, I've said to her, we're going to have to build a wall to create a boundary line and to hold the soil in place. I said that long before this man came.
So what happened? So what happened when the rain fell?
The rain fell and it brought down all the debris, all the soil that had been sitting there, okay, into his land, of course, his land right below there, and into the road that we commute on, and into other neighbor property. It was real slobby mud, a lot of water. And what it is, Junior, this area where we live, where we bought land and where we built, this area is immune to a lot of water. There are mountains there about, from where we excavate, there are about 3 or 4 other mountain uphill climb. I've hiked there many times. And that when the rain falls way up to the top of the mountain, there's a lot of rock. It receives the water and it's sending water like a 360 degrees, like a round circle. Right. A lot of that water come into our land. Okay. A matter of fact, in excavating our house, when we built our house, we had an elevation of the upstairs. That's where we first built. Right. We was in stills for over 20 feet. I remember when rain fall very heavily, you used to hear water rushing under the house through the soil. And I used to go down there and check it out. I have been down there for the first time. And we had about 5 areas under the house. Water was just running. So there are channels within the soil that carries the water into the leaching field. So however, that landslide came down, and with that landslide coming down now, there was confusion. I think at that time he did a bit of, he started casting with a 3 feet deep and 100 feet long, whichever way. He did quarter of the base, whereas dropping concrete and putting up some steel work, okay, in preparation to build a wall. However, with the movement of the soil, cover up that 3 feet hole or 3 feet holes of that area that for the wall, and all the soil came down. Within the process, after a couple of days later, or weeks, maybe about a week or 2 weeks later on, this man sent a bailiff to us seeking. He sent a bailiff with a letter seeking compensation of 9,000 EC dollars for damages.
But also, I just want to add something.
I'll allow my wife to talk.
I just want to add that within the land as well, when you would have burned, there were a lot of trees on the land he would have cleared, right?
Yeah.
So when he did all the burning, I saw that as you killing all the roots and everything that holding additional soil.
Yes, there was nothing holding the soil. As you can imagine, if you clear land, you remove all the trees, use your soil. There was no rootly trees to hold anything. So obviously everything went down. And a matter of fact, our land takes in a lot of water. So you have what you call the surface water.
Right.
The surface water actually created the slide, created the soil movement. That basically what happened here.
So stick up in right there. Let me see if I could summarize what you're saying here. You're saying that what led to the initial altercation was, one, the burning of the debris, the tires, whatever that he had there, and two, the landslide. So that kind of set the tone for a bad relationship going.
What we are dealing with, what we're coming to deal with, correct. And the compensation, and we had mitigation with lawyers there. He was pushing to have that. Eventually, I was trying to avoid it. And I decided, you know what, let's deal with it. I had enough of this. Let's move over. So we had mitigation.
Right.
His lawyer, my wife, his wife, and we came to a conclusion. However, I told him blank flat in the presence of everyone that we are not responsible for that. It was a God, it's an act of God.
Yeah.
And that, of course, set the tone for tension and issues. You understand?
Right.
So there was no compensation, so to speak.
Right.
But we came to an amicable situation where we're gonna create a wall soon.
Yeah.
So we could accommodate him to start his foundation of the house.
Okay.
I will take a break. I'll let my wife.
Right. Yeah. Right. Well, so no. Before you take a break, there, I want to keep the audience abreast as to where we are in the conversation. So what Colin is saying, he just is sort of setting the premise for what he claimed is the start of the dispute between the both neighbors. Both neighbors moved in. He claimed, and again, you know, that those are the allegations, that the start of the feud began when Mr. Hutchison came into the neighborhood and started to burn in the initial phases, and then it got even worse, confrontational in a way. The debris, the landslide came into his property. They came to an amicable solution, mitigation. They agreed to build a wall, and that kind of set the premise for all of the things that transpired downhill from there.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So let's shift gears a little bit. Right. So he built construction and all of that stuff. There were reports and video evidence from your neighbor that said that shortly after he received his house contract, everything from his contractors, that he realized a whole set of debris. Well, first, even before we get to the building of that part, I want to go back a little bit further. There was another video that was released, that before the house was built. So we'll come back to that. The gravel situation.
Boy. Okay, so you want me to go on with that one?
Right. The gravel situation. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
the gravel situation, I would say, Junior, being in the neighborhood, in here, when we moved in here, it was just myself and my wife and a neighbor further away. And there were a neighbor next door, unfortunately not here today, and another neighbor further away. I used to clear the drain from my house past the neighbor house because there was no drainage. Water was just running. When the rainfall, the entire area in here is like a river. Okay, and being a homeowner in here, it was very, you know, it was uncomfortable. So I needed to set the trend, and that's just me. You know, I go out, I clear the drain from my house. As a matter of fact, I create a drain from my house, which is still here today. Go right round a corner towards my house, past the accused, not the accuser, but the neighbor. I dug that drain, and it had a time I had enough because of the confusion, even building the house of the neighbor. The drain. I'm not building the house of the neighbor building his house. There was too many confusion going on. Those guys show no regards to who are living in here, myself especially, and others. They was dumping gravels, they were dumping sand in the road, and it wasn't acceptable, you know. And I stood up for that. Okay, I stood up for that. I talked to them about it, and then I just take a break. I was threatened many times by the contractor and laborers and others. Okay. However, with that drain issue, I took a break from doing any work around the area. And there was a period, months, maybe about 2 months later on, a neighbor contacted me who used to be in this house, inviting her in and out. Whenever I'm away with my wife, he oversees the house. We give him authority to oversee the house and ensure that our dog is being fed and so. But anyway, this man contacted me and said, "Hey, Colin," he notified the contractor and he notified the contractor about the sand and gravel in the road, and he asked the contractor to notify the neighbor that he gonna be clearing the drain, moving the sand and gravel that's in the drain to the side of the road.
Okay, so tell us about the sand and gravel. Was it in your property?
No,
his
no,
property,
no.
Or was it
was in the public domain road, but it was in the way. Okay? And in the rainfall, the rain was going in the road rather than traveling in the drain where the sand was dumped in the back of the drain. So this man went to start the job to move the stuff, my neighbor. And I told him, you know, he informed me about it. I will come and help him. You know, it's not a problem. That's easy. I'll come. So because I felt it was the best neighborly thing to do. So I went to assist him. In doing so, it appeared that the neighbor, the present neighbor who we're here to talk about, his workers, it was a Sunday, they came by. They didn't stay long on the project. I think they must have came just quickly to collect something. And in coming in, they used threat. They see what we were doing, and they threatened me specifically. As always, I've been targeted, always. Boy, what are you doing there? Boy, looking for a real Cortez, boy, somebody going to do you something. And they say, watch, listen, I just hope somebody could do you something. And I wish somebody beat up your ass and so forth. But I ignore that. And I continue digging with the neighbor. Okay.
Who told you that? The contractors? You said told you that?
The workers of the contractor and his workers. It was about 3 of them that Sunday morning, and they didn't stay long. Less than 5 minutes, they was heading back out, and they stopped again, and they said, "Boy, I'm gonna call Mikey for your ass." Excuse me, I call name. I'm gonna call Mikey for your ass. You're doing too much in here now. You know what I mean? And eventually they did. And less than within 15 minutes, I saw he came by. And as you saw in the video, this was a neighbor who invited me to help him. Okay. And he said, he came and he stopped the vehicle because the sand and thing was on the road. We were moving sand from one way to the other. So the road looked like it was blocked, but it wasn't blocked. But he stopped the vehicle just on an incline on the approach towards us. And he came out of the car. No, but the neighbor said, "Colin, the neighbor is here." You know, I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, that's not a problem that he come." So I continued with my head down and I'm moving, and the other guy was doing his work. And the guy came straight to me. And he said, "I catch you, Colin, and you thieving my sand, you thieving my gravel, and all the compromising my things." And he came to me and insulted me, recorded me. Okay? That was an insult. And with my head down, I didn't give him no attention whatsoever. And he gave me the attention, insulted me, recorded me. And easily, so I've been provoked, and easily I reacted. So I had a shovel of sand, and I fling it right into his face. And he went on, he said this, he said that, and he went on. You're going to call a lawyer? You're going to call. Less than 10 minutes, his brother showed up. Okay, his brother showed up and he passed with his car and he opened up his car just about, maybe about 20 feet from us. And the guy was like a raging cow. I was wondering, wait, what's going on? Is he mad? The guy was saying, boy, the boy don't even moving here yet. My brother ain't even moving here yet. And this is how you all treating him. This is how you treating him, boy. The boy ain't even build a house yet. So when you moving with your family, he said, boy, you're lucky. You're lucky Mikey's not me, because I will deal with you. I'll rip you apart. I'll dig you up right now. And the guy came up the car and aggressively, that was Michael Hutchison. Okay? I never seen a human being behave so much. And these guys are only pretend to the domain world that this is what it is. Okay? But the guy threatened me. To me, I thought I was dealing with a police officer, because he want to detain me, you want to arrest me. And it's like, to me, he had a firearm. Okay?
One second. He had a fire. You're saying that he allegedly had a firearm? Did you see a firearm?
I was informed that there was a firearm for some reason.
Okay, but he didn't pull it out at
He
you.
didn't pull anything. But he carry on. When people have possession of firearms or ammunition or a weapon on them, they behave in a particular way. I know that. So you act up really hostile. He was a raging bull. Okay. And I just say in my head, in my mind, if you think you can come and touch me, I wasn't expecting any violence, but I say in my mind, I need to be prepared, and there was all the tools around me, but I wasn't intending to fight or intended to protect or to do anything. So, however, I was attacked, and he used a lot of slogans. He said a lot of things. I ignored him. But the point is, the neighbor who called me to help him, he was never in any confrontation with them whatsoever. So there is something there that something is really wrong.
So you're saying, so I'll get your wife's side of this.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me try to understand again. So you're saying that you were called to clear the drain in this particular situation here.
Right.
The gravel and sand was not on your property, neither his property. The
Right.
gravel was on the public property, like by the drain,
Correct.
right? And when he came to you with the camera, you was clearing the drain full of debris,
You're right.
and he confronted you with the camera, and we saw the video, we saw the tape on that, and he flung the stuff in his face. Was it a matter that you was taking the debris from the drain and just maliciously compromising his gravel? Was that
No. It was already compromised because there were several rainfall and the gravel was already mixed with the natural earth and soil, and water came down. To me, his stuff was already compromised. We wasn't compromised. We was just generally moving this material from the road, between the road and the drain, so we can have the water run into the drain. So we move it forward, actually, and ensuring there was water flow, and at the same time ensuring traffic can pass.
right?
That was the main goal.
Marilyn,
Main
tell me what you know about that particular situation here.
Well, when I came down, I wasn't there the whole thing, but when I came down, I
Thank
think
you.
it was at a point where when I came down, it was at a point where the police were already there. Yeah. And I think I tried to find out, inject or whatever was going on as well too. And he didn't really give me a very good remark. So it was like, I was like, let me just stay out of this situation. But what I did stay around then enough to hear what the police said, because of course the police were called to deal with it. And the police then said to both my husband and the neighbor, he said first to the neighbor, that's the accused, he said, boss man, look, all your material's still there. This is not a problem. All your material there. And he then turned around and said to my husband and the other neighbor, guys, y'all are doing a good job for the community.
And he don't see the problem. He see that's good humanitarian ground of moving things.
So police came. Hold on. It's important to note that, because I'm trying to understand this.
Yeah.
Police came on the scene.
Yeah.
Were there any charges laid?
No.
No.
Were anyone detained?
No,
No.
no one was detained.
Nothing.
Okay.
You know,
So
there
you're
was
saying that you saying that the police complimented you on the job well done with
me and the neighbor
Correct.
and the neighbor.
that was doing a good job.
To the community.
So the water, he saw what was happening.
Because
know.
I think one of the first things the neighbor said is that he didn't realize that there was any drain there or something. to
He
that
said,
effect.
number
Yeah.
one, he knew that he never knew there was a drain, and there are other issues regarding that same drain.
Yeah. he
You
said he
know,
didn't know there was a
you know,
drain, but-
let me clear on the drainage. So that was that drain, that particular drain situation in the video. But let me say to you, as I've said earlier on, Junior, and to ride along live audience who here, I said earlier before, I used to clear the drain from my house, go all the way down to the neighbor's house. As a result of me, there is a drain there. All it needs to be, what needs to be done is the authority needs to just come and refresh it and put blocks into it so we have proper drainage. And as a result of that same drain, the neighbor who enter his house, I create that drain there so that today, tomorrow, he could pass without having to go down in a drain, having to pass, and there's a culvert. Okay, you understand me, Junior?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I create that pace that which he passed on. And a matter of fact, that's the very same day I removed the sand. The very same day I recleared the drain, that existing drain. I dig the existing drain wider and deeper. And he also called his lawyer for me for that. I remember clearly when I was digging right in the entrance of that Midship Road, which is his main entrance today. Okay. He called his lawyer and videoed me and said, look, the man digging a drain in front of my house, in front of my property, and this and that. He never seen no drain. As a result of, as I've said, that drain needed to be there. From my house, go all the way down. So the authority, I think it's him, the authority, when he built his house, he then actually put a car, he boxed it up and he created a culvert so he can drive into his yard. Okay?
Right. Let's take a pin right there. Let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to learn more about the police officer that took that report. We'll be right back, right along live.
Pick yourself up with Ride Rent a e-bike today and take advantage of the smartest and coolest way to get around. Rental starting for only $30 per hour and less than $100 EC per day. Zip through traffic, save money, and look awesome doing it. Check us out at the Esplanade Mall today. Visit us online at ridersebike.com or give us a call at 473-422-1011. Your wallet and the planet will thank you. Ride Rent a e-bike.
Ride Along Live.
All right, we're back. We're speaking here with Cullen and his wife as they speak about what started this whole viral drama that is really sucking a lot of oxygen on social media right now. Cullen and his wife spoke earlier and mentioned what they believe was the start of that. One, where they claimed that the individual, the neighbor who moved in, was continuously burning, and that affected them. Affected the neighbors because the smoke would come up to their house, and from the vantage point where they live, they're claiming that that's what caused all that debris, that smoke from the debris to come up to their building. The second thing was a mudslide that happened from their building, and that caused further chaos in terms of dampening or wettening or sliding the relationship in the early stages of the relationship. We spoke about the video that went viral. Where Mr. Cullen was seen on tape digging, and the neighbor mentioning that he is compromising his sand and gravel that was there while he was in the process of building. Cullen is claiming that he was clearing the drain. That drain where the gravel and sand was at, it had a clog, and he was clearing that drain as per requested by another neighbor in that particular area, for the cause of chaos that continued over time. Cullen and Marilyn, welcome back to this. So throughout all of this stuff, I know you guys seek mediation and you already understand that the relationship is not going good from where it started. Now we have problems with Drain, you throwing stuff at him. So you could imagine that he's very upset with you right now. Were there any instant that you guys try to seek mediation, try to understand, try to conversate on a mutual level so that it doesn't get worse? Because after all, you guys are neighbors and going to be neighbors for a while.
Okay, Junior, which is
I don't recall if we went.
okay, but Junior, let me say this to you and the audience again. Junior, with all these issues over the years, clearly I have been targeted for many other things, okay, and many other stuff, which has been on video as you have seen. We had issue with dealing with boundary. We had issue dealing with many. Yeah, but yes, I did reach out to find help. Let me just stick to that for now. We're going to come. But I did reach out to persons in the society. We reached out to lawyers, and there wasn't forthcoming. The police, of course, pastors as well, corporate team builders and managers, okay, to help to help smoother the situation, because it become a burden. The area become like a very fearful area, you know, tension, a lot of tension mounting up, okay, because it appeared that people in that area just fighting, whether it's me, whether it's a neighbor, fighting for power to manipulate each other and to do whatever persons want to do, you know, in order to distract each other. So I did reach out to get a lot of help, to seek help. Persons have reached out to the individual, the neighbor to talk to. I should have spoken to him. I did reach out a lot. I have. I even went to police, I went to the police commissioner to seek help, you know, to deputy commissioner to seek help, to help smoothen the issue. Because listen, this is not my life. This is not what my wife and I bought this land to come here and to endure and to live with the neighbor. We have lived several places. We have lived in Fort Jude, we have lived in Westerhall, we have lived so many different places, and it became a burden, and it was actually bothering me.
Yeah, but I think, you see, Junior, there's so many other things after.
Right.
I think as the things piled up as well, that's what Colin was saying. We went to like different levels. At one point in time, we even had a tenant here that we reached out to because they had connections and different stuff like that, because there were other issues that we haven't mentioned, which is like noise, you know, and that was one of the real areas
Cameras.
that we went to the deputy commissioner about the loud noise.
Noise of
you
all
know?
kind.
But as I said, there are many things, and that was just
Right. I want to talk about the noise, but the police officer, because it's important that all of this stuff has been recorded, especially when the police came on the scene. What was the name of the police officer, and from what jurisdiction did the police officer came in from?
St. David's, and I think his name was Officer William.
Officer William St. David's Police Station.
Yeah.
Okay. So he would have the evidential information, at least they would have the information that they came and that situation was resolved, where he mentioned that, you know, you were doing a good job and the rest of the sand and gravel was there and was not compromised. He would have
Correct.
made that report.
Yes,
Yes,
correct.
he said that. He said that all your material is there.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's talk about the noise pollution, because you saying that that affected you, right? Talk about that, Marilyn.
Okay, I'll just okay. Now I can go. I think it was 20. Let's see, when was it? Because I kind of like made my notes. I think it was like January of 2020, which was, he would have moved in, I think, in 2019 or 20. I can't remember, but it was probably January, either 2020 or January of 2019. I can't remember the exact year. And I think the first thing he did was to have a
He moved sometime
birthday.
in December and
He
January.
probably moved in November, but the first time he had a
November.
party was in January
Yeah.
of the following year. And it was so unbearably loud. I think it was for a birthday party for one of his kids.
Whatever it was,
Yeah,
it was
I think
noise.
so.
Let's
Yeah,
just
I think
focus on
so.
the noise.
Right, and it was
Yeah.
very, very, very loud. And Junior, you can imagine, huh? You buy a piece of land. It's a very, very quiet area.
Has been
All you really hear is birds, to be honest with you.
birds and goats and shit.
Well, I don't really go so much, but you hear birds. And then to have this situation, because how he built like with a deck on top. So when you have a deck then and you have parties and entertainment or whatever, the music is going to carry because there's no buffer, I think. There's nothing, it's not like enclosed. So it was just unbearable. And I think a lot of our complaints, we even complained the wrong place because at one time I think we called St. Paul's police station. They said, no, that's not your jurisdiction. So we complained a lot to St. David's and asked him to, the noise. You can't sleep. I mean, you can imagine you're trying to sleep and you just hear this. I could remember even one day going into work, and this is like recent, and the boss looked at me and said, "How are you doing?" I said, "Well, not so good. I have a headache because there was just so much noise from the neighbor the night before." And he just said, "Oh dear," But yes, I guess you see my key is a party person, and I guess we are not. So he does have parties and he would have very loud music, and that would cause us to call the police. And one of the reasons too, my mom is 80, she's 87, and she lives with us, and sometimes she's like, boy, this is just so much noise as well, because she's been with me for a while now. I brought her during the COVID pandemic and she's here. So the noise affected us because we're very close. Like how you portrayed where we live and where he lives, the song is just coming straight to us.
It's the song. We have an ocean. There's an ocean view ahead of us, and once the wind blows, all that song is coming straight, and the speaker box is directly. I don't know
In
why,
some
but
instances, maybe.
he always plays his speaker box directly shooting into our house.
I
So
am
all the
not-
sun comes into our home.
I can't really speak to the
But,
direction of the thing, but I would say, let me just add this one thing as well that I recall. So we would call the police, and when the police came, the noise would probably go down a bit, and then by the time the noise come back up again. Yeah, so it'd be down, and then it would be up. And in some instances, it's like, when is this going to
Provocation
stop?
with the music,
When is this going to
provocation
stop?
of the
And
music.
then obviously we are told, well, there's no law against that. I mean, because at 11 o'clock, I think people are allowed to play music, but
And
That's just how it
with the
is.
music too, there are times he would play provoke. What's the word?
well, I guess
music
to provoke.
Music to provoke us. With something-
You say what?
Oh, okay.
Okay, what he's trying to say is like, if he gets upset, he would play songs like these songs would have a message, neighbor, neighbor, something or the other. I don't remember.
No,
the
but
songs,
very provokeful
songs that
songs.
would be giving you a message.
So with that, give you a message regarding
In
I
other
can do
words,
what I want.
leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
And this has been going on for a while. So can you imagine?
Yeah.
And imagine you do some work and you're trying to sleep. Let's say Boxing Day, especially the day before Boxing Day, you're trying to get some rest.
Yeah, people
and
have
this man
parties.
set up to
Yeah.
have his
Yeah,
entertainment.
people have parties,
and,
but
and a
it's
lot
just
of
loud.
noise.
It was just loud.
But what listen, junior audience, we don't mind the noise, but you need to give consideration. We're not part of your entertainment. We're not part of your noise. And for me, when it comes to music, I love music.
But not.
I don't like the boop, 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 bad up noise in my head, especially in your house of resident and you want to rest and you have this noise. I didn't grow up in a village. I didn't get up in a ghetto. I didn't come from an area where you play music night and day and disturb everybody. And where that individual came from. Okay. So I just think when you move to an area, there are certain habits you need to adopt to, and you need to give consideration into when you're playing your music. You cannot go into Lansopine or Fort Judy and blast out a whole
I just want to say
night
something
of
now, though.
entertainment. I
Junior,
think consideration
Junior,
needs
what
to be
I,
given.
Junior, what I would say though now, I have noticed in all honesty for a little time, I don't know exactly when, that he has lowered his volume, and I really appreciate that.
We do too, honestly, we
I
do.
even told him that when he called me on Thursday.
I told him so in the past as well. I told him so when he.
So the music has been a problem for you, right?
For us. Not just us. We have tenants. We have tenants. We have apartments, and we have had problem. The tenants. Some of our tenant has moved. I must say.
Okay.
We don't know what it was for, but they moved.
Okay. Whatever complaints from the other neighbors?
Good question.
Well, there is a neighbor below, and he would just come up and say, I can't repeat what he would say, but basically he'd be saying, well, this guy played music and da da da. Yeah, but you see, you have to look at the location. Where we are more affected than the other neighbors because we are right in this space. So if you're hearing music and you're a little way off, it may be okay. But if you're right in the person's nose, I think that's a little different.
Right. Okay.
Very much.
So the music, as you said, had been a problem to you. Now, Colin, when I spoke to you yesterday, you told me about another incident that occurred. I know a lot of people want to know about the dog mess issue. We're going to get to that because this is like, you know, this seemed to be like what everyone is interested in. But let's talk about the incident that happened where you threw a stone. Two things I want you to touch on.
Right.
You threw a stone after Mr. Hutchison, and you hit him with a stone, and what transpired from there. And you were also on video, like he was moving items from one side and he was dumping it on the other side. So
Okay.
talk about those two incidents.
Yeah, sure. With the issue spanning over many things, I had issue with boundary issue. Where the wall been built, we have 2 feet behind that area. I've planted bougainvillea. I've planted a hedge that grows onto wall, as you have seen at Silver Sands, in different areas of 108 feet wall. So my goal was to beautify below that area, so I can walk down there, inspect the wall, check on things, do my chores and so forth. And of course, I'm not a gardener, but hey, as a man in the house, I ensure that I can do bits and pieces. So there was issue where this neighbor, as where the wall been built, he believed that in his mind, I don't even remember him actually surveying his property when he moved there, but he been coming up way up to the wall, right behind the wall, right on the wall, and cut the grass, cut the bushes, cut my bougainvillea, cut my hedges, cut everything, no regards. We had a series of issues with that. I warned him several times. I spoke to him. I spoke to his brother one time. And a matter of fact, when he bring the landscapers, they used to bring like a security personnel who was like his brother, okay, to oversee and to direct with to court. And I remember one day he said, listen, he asked the neighbor wife where to cut. I remember that day. And his sister-in-law told him where to cut. But he said, okay, I'll cut right up to the wall. And they went on and cut right up the wall. And I observed it. I told him about it. I was threatened. I was called by the slang, Daddy, what can you do about it? Daddy, what's wrong with you? Why don't you go inside and do whatever with your wife? I remember that. But the issue spanned on. It was a range of provocation, confusion, hostile, warlike behavior. So the issue with me hitting the neighbor now, the actual neighbor one day, because of the same problem. He came into the property, into the boundary, into the property actually, with the wall end right to the left side. I put a plank of wood there, nailed onto the wall, and I put a piece of plywood there, which is connected to a tree, which is in boundary with the land. Okay, that's an open area, but I kind of seal it off so that no one will enter the area. But there was a day I heard this cha-cha-cha cutting through the bushes, and I was outside, so I always very alert and overlook, So I overlook, and I didn't see anybody, but it appears that the person just moved away from the scene for a bit. So I went around the wall. Well, I'm above the wall level. I circled around and went into the key entrance to get onto the platform overlooking the neighbor.
Right.
At the time, the area was very bushy. We had grass that was 5 feet and so forth. And actually, the neighbor could have heard me coming through the grass because, once you go through grass, you can hear the movements. And I went through there and I peeped over and I saw the neighbor in question. I said, what are you doing? What are you doing there? You have no right to be there. What are you doing? And he didn't say, I said, whatever, you have no right there. This is not your property. You need to step away from it. And he listened. And what he did, it was amazing. It was highly provocation. The man just left from 3 feet away and went back in the 3 feet area and cut blah, 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 to let me see he's doing it. I said, what are you doing? So right on the platform, overlooking him, there are mud rocks, you know. So I picked up 2 of that and I dashed one down to stop him, you know. And however, I missed him with the first rock, and then I put the other one, by which time he was running towards his house to say that I'm gonna go and come back and deal with you. So I said to myself, okay, I put another rock. And pelting the other rock now, unfortunately, I did that. It was unplanned. I wasn't expecting to do that. It wasn't my behavior pattern. You know, I didn't really want that. But with provocation, you reacted. So it happened, and however he was hit with that rock, and I observed he was hit. He went to his house, and I observed he was comforted by his partner, and his partner warned him, don't bother, leave him. He was rushing inside to get whatever, but that didn't happen. But after that came a police summons for me for court. And they picked me up. They came picked me up a couple of weeks, a month after, I believe, for hitting the Soli neighbor with a rock, and that became a court case, and that he was compensated. And at the same time, when we had the court case, I take full responsibility for that issue, and I apologize for the pain I have brought to the neighbor. I said it to the court and to the judge and to everyone who were at the court at that time. I said it and I meant it. And I did at the same time. I think we both apologized to each other for issues between us.
Because at this point in time, this is getting very, very bad. This is getting to a point where it's physical. It's not that he's saying something to you, you saying something to him, you tossing rocks at him and hitting him. Of course, no, it's very physical, right?
It went over the board because of, I think it went over the board unnecessarily because of the tension spanning between us and the provocation, the harassment. I've never been so harassed in my entire life. I mean, listen, I'm a Victorian. I live various parts of Victoria. My mother, my grandmother, we were loving people, we were kind people. We shared basically everything from baked bread to roast bakes to fried bakes to jacks to barrel being sent to neighbors to us. We shared. Okay. On that note, I don't even think I want to go there. But the thing is, I never had this kind of problem anywhere I've lived in my entire life. I lived in Williamson Road. I live in the Carenage. I live on Carenage, H. Street. I live Grandins. I live St. Paul's. And I live amongst neighbors. And I live with families, a matter of fact, back then. I used to rent rooms from person, lodging in here and there when based on my work schedule. I care about a room. And I live with family, and the families were genuine. They was loving. They shared. They provide me with a meal. They provide me with the room. They gave me everything I needed so I can be comfortable. And I paid for the service. And I appreciated the service from these people. So listen, people don't know me, but I am very down to earth. I'm a very cool guy. And I love to share. I love to connect with people. Okay. But this experience here with that neighbor, it was basically never taught, and it's way beyond.
All right. We got, let me tell you something. As I always say, I'm disappointed that it have to come down to that where it became so physical, where no one could have been the bigger person, because what if you hit him in the head and he pass out or something like that? I mean,
well, listen, at the time, I just would have to take responsibility.
Right.
So pay the penalty.
So you took the responsibility and you accept responsibility for your action. Let's move forward. The driving in the neighborhood, right? It was seen on video where someone that alleged to be you driving down in front of the house, speeding, and his wife or his kids or someone was there, and he was caught on video. Were you trying to harm anyone? What was the situation that you was there like that?
Listen, the real thing in this situation, things could have happened, but you know what, Junior, that particular day, man, it's amazing how things happen. It could have been an accident, but the thing is that, let me get to the story of this. I was called by a family member in my hometown of Victoria, and I decided, you know what, they called me to come and help them do some family work in the family land. They were all going there, and they shared it with me, and I thought, you know what, I would go up there for a break to help them. It was a mental, psychological, emotional break, So I took the opportunity and I went to my grandmother's land to help my cousins. We coordinated, and we were there for the entire day. I went up there about after 7 in the morning, and actually I didn't carry anything to it because I thought I was going to go. I thought I was going to get things to eat in the country from the family, but nothing was prepared. Anyway, I want to just move short into it. I spent the whole day in Victoria in the garden with family, and I think by just about after 4 we ended, and by which time I was eager to get home. I was tired, exhausted, hungry. I had stomach dry because I haven't eaten anything. I think I only had maybe some cane that day. So Junior, I left Victoria that day just about minutes to 5, I think, actually. Minutes to 5. And Junior, there are times I do love to drive, and I do drive when I want to. And I really pushed myself, and I pushed the car. I just needed to get home to refresh, use the bathroom particularly. That was one of the issues because my stomach was boiling all day. Imagine that.
Were you charged?
Yes, I've come into that. So anyway, I came down the entire Western Road with speed, okay? And I was safe, actually. And when I reached to my area, the speed, I slowed down a bit. But when I was coming into the road that leads to my house, I came down doing 35 miles per hour about. That's an incline, a very, very easy down incline. And I had control, which I normally do. Whenever I'm coming down that area, before you go down the final incline to get to the neighbor's house entrance,
Right.
I normally will drop my vehicle in second gear for compression, which I did. And at that time, I think it was just about 6:30 about I got here.
Did you see anybody?
No, I'm coming. So I dropped my compression, and just like got to the flat, I pushed back in my drive gear and I accelerated a bit again, which is a normal thing I have been doing. Junior, I will let you know, and my wife knows that, and the world knows that. We'll hear it now. I didn't see no one on the side of the road on the driver's side. I didn't see, so help me God, I didn't see an angel. I didn't see God. I didn't see the disciples. I didn't see a human being. But apparently, with the speed, I on the side of my eye, I glimpsed that there was like something there, like a log of wood. Okay, I couldn't determine it was human. It was human. I couldn't determine if it was a trunk with a piece of fabric on it. I couldn't. So help me God, I couldn't determine that. So I hint something was there, but it wasn't seen with my bare eyes, whether it's whatever. So I continue going. I accelerated, as I've said, and I move on. At that point, I was even a little fearful as to what it was. 6:30, the area a bit dark in that area, and it is what's the word they use? It is a sort of secluded area. Okay, not expecting. I wasn't aware. Listen, honestly, after 1 month, the neighbor in question posted a video to my neighbor who I've helped clear the drain, and he didn't even share it with me. He shared it with my wife.
Right.
Okay, he shared it with my wife. I had a good go with him, but for some reason that good go broke up, and I was a bit uncomfortable about you sharing a video with my wife. Why didn't you share it with me? We are friends. Be a man. Just share it with me and talk to me about it. But he shared it with me, and I saw maybe 2 angles of that, because the individual in question apparently he had cameras. He have cameras down there, and there was another angle from under his house that showed the speed, the movement. Okay, I didn't see that video after 1 month. And when I saw the video, actually, before I even saw the video, I think there was a summon to me that I need. The police came to me that I attempt to run over the neighbor into the road. I had no idea that these people was in the road.
Were you charged? Were you charged?
I was charged. I had a court case for speeding, and I was charged by the court for it was a traffic violation. So I was charged.
They
For that.
didn't see the car. It wasn't
Right.
like you veered the car.
No, and the thing is, Junior, let me clear that. I didn't see anybody in the road, and it wasn't in my mind or intention to harm anybody. Okay? I wasn't aiming to harm anybody sitting on the road, standing by the road. I was just going my way and doing my business and was driving just to get home.
But driving a little bit fast. You would have
yes.
you was driving fast.
So the accusation of me wanting to run a man over, I have never run over a man or a woman as much as I drive the way I drive at times, even now. I will save anybody if I were to try to lose control of a car. I would dump the car in a hole. I will swing the car away, damage the car, than to hurt anyone or
Have you ever gotten in an accident before where you had to?
Yes, I have had approximately about 2 accidents. One, I was cruising slow on Lagoon Road, and I was distracted looking at something, and I went into the back of somebody. And I had another accident in my village here, where actually I was speeding out, and I happened to sway. The vehicle swayed because there was gravel in the road, and went onto another vehicle. You know.
Okay.
And I had another major accident that, you know, but I dealt with that one.
Right.
That was just with me.
Okay. It's alleged as well that you have cameras or you overlook your neighbor from your vantage point. How do you address those allegations that say that you are looking at him, you have stuff pointing at him and all that other stuff?
Well, the thing is, as you realize from the beginning of this conversation here, it's unfortunate. I wish my neighbor was, we didn't have to do this to each other. It is unnecessary. But as I've said, and as you realize in this mini conversation, the neighbor, from the time he moved into the area, there were a level of concern and security. So there are cameras everywhere. And with the incident which has happened and has happened, okay, and not having evidence, he had cameras in his property, every corner of this house, of his house, so to speak, on the road, on the side of the road, at the side of the road, showing the road. You know, it's like a village. He's like a village police to see every car, every knot, every donkey, every whatever. But the point is, it's good to have cameras. Of course, you can see what happened. I support that. But with me not having cameras, I was being like left alone if something happened. He had cameras shooting up into our house, straight into our house. He had a camera.
Well, when you say your camera shooting into your house, did you see cameras pointing at your property?
Yes. There has been, he had a camera shooting into our house space, invading our privacy for approximately 4 years. You know, when you walked into the balcony, and it was noise as well. I don't know why you would have a camera you can see, but every time the camera picks up me or tracks whatever, where the trees, me, you hear it's on the signal. So there were he had a camera right on top of the deck. Strategically, it was strategically placed in a particular corner so he can oversee over his deck and what's beyond his deck. So once we are in our balcony, walking in our house, in our domain, our space, you walk on the side, left to right of the house, you walk down on a platform where I have shown you, I shared the video with you where you could overlook his property. I built that recently. That was built just a couple of months ago. This wasn't there. This camera, once you walk there, this camera sees you, We have called the police about it. We have reached out to the authority about it. There was nothing they could do about it. So it took me actually 4 years I didn't want to be bothered about putting cameras. Honestly, I wasn't interested in these people. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to look down. I don't want to be bothered. But when, as I say, flour get thicker than water, I only put camera there just about 2 years ago. 2 years ago, okay? And the cameras are there specifically so I can see of the issues behind the wall for the years of confusion. And I can see what's happening. Remember, these people being provoked and been always going there and cut my grass, cut the plants that I've planted. So I put the cameras there, okay? And before you know it, there were issues about my cameras invading the privacy, and they want the cameras done. But they don't remember they had cameras spying into our area for years. And a matter of fact, Junior, and the audience, over the years, I have to think of solution how to distract these cameras. So I came up with ideas. Was thinking, what sort of hedge I can plant? Bamboo is good, but it's going to overgrow. You're going to create problem to the foundation of the wall, and I will lose control of it. So I came up with many ideas and solution. So what I did, I had a piece of cane one day, and I cut the cane, and I cut up the cane in about 10 pieces, and I put 10 within 108 feet. I planted 10 pieces of cane 10 feet apart, so that when that cane grow, I have what you call a cane hedge. He has privacy, and I could be where I am, standing on the platform in our lawn, and not having it's disturbing. It's invading privacy. So I did that, and that cane remained there for about 3 years or so. But then the cane became unmanageable. It was too much work, and I couldn't suck all the cane. So, a matter of fact, when construction men came here, delivery men came here, Chinese came here to fit in windows, whatever, I offer cane to people, and I give away the cane gradually, and I cut it gradually. However, I didn't want the work. There was sand to be, so I got rid of the cane.
Right.
And I got rid of the cane, and I opened up that beautiful window, which I have blocked off from myself and from the neighbor. And I needed back the view which we demand, which overlook the neighbor. So at the end of the day, you're on your deck, I am on my deck, and I'm looking down. I have all right to be there. I can be there anytime. So I'm not invading your privacy. But the point is, he accused me for having camera there, invading his privacy. But what he don't know, he had cameras invading our privacy for 4 years.
Right. All right. So I understand this. And here's what is strange to me, right? And I'm trying to figure this thing out.
Yeah.
Neither one of you guys could have been the bigger person and say, listen, man, listen. We can't continue to fight like Iran and Iraq,
It will.
West and the Taliban for the rest of our life.
Right.
There have to be some kind of truce. There have to be some kind of agree to disagree, so we don't have to antagonize each other. There was nobody that you could have gone to, or that could have bring you guys together and sit and just mutual the whole situation.
Junior and the audience here and my wife, she knows I went out my way. I walked to people. I spoken to people. I made call to persons. And the thing is that, Junior, honestly, I have been in a lot of pain. And even now, today, I'm in pain. Because he has been hurting himself and his family. And having 2 kids, hurting his family. And at the same time, you are hurting. I have been hurting. My wife has been hurt. My wife has always been there for me. Thank you, sweetie.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
She has always been there for me.
Yeah.
Because it became overbearing for me, man. I couldn't deal with it because this is not my life.
At some
It's
point,
like, I reach out to everybody I could have reached out to seek help. And even me, Junior, I have to dip deep into the Bible and to read and to learn to be calm and to be quiet and to find a peace within my soul.
Yeah.
Because it was just too much. Man.
Yeah, and the thing is,
And he was taking control of me. I can't sleep,
Yeah.
and I reached out. Man, I used to go to the river and sit and meditate.
Junior,
and
I just want to add something though while Colin composes stuff. It's like, some things I find when you reach out to people, if they are not going through that situation, they don't really understand your side, they don't really, it's like, I'm telling you that this is what is happening. Is there a way you can help? But people are like, well, it's not happening to me. So, it's not really a push. so much. And I would have to say, even at one point in time, it got so bad, the back and forth with trying to reach out to people. And I don't know if there was any solution in terms of people, you reach out to people and they say something to him. But if that is the case and something was said, it wasn't then said back to us to say, okay, well, let's meet and stuff. So I don't know if the reaching out did go to, other people's ears, but nothing just came out of it because that's what it seemed.
All right, let me give you guys a chance to just
Thank you.
compose yourself just a little bit. Guys, you're watching Ride Along Live. And again, as I said from the beginning, the goal and the objective of this is to hear his story. I know a lot of you that's watching already have a preconceived idea as to what it is, right? So it make no difference what he says right now.
Right.
And that's fine if the folks are watching want to take that position. But I think it's important, regardless of where you sit, where you stand on this. I'm sure that none of us that care about these people want them to live in agony. When you have a home, it's not something that you rent and you leave and you go back and you're like, oh, like you're on vacation. When you have a home that you reside in, this is your comfort. This is your pleasure. This should be a place that you feel as free as possible. And this is not the situation that these two are living in right now. They feel compromised, right? And on both sides, I see it, the pain, the agony, the hurt, right? And this should not be the case. Let's take a quick break, guys. When we come back, we'll talk about the situation that everybody seemed to be interested about. How did dog poop get from the top of his balcony, as alleged, into his swimming pool? Don't move, we'll be right back.
Today. Located inside Ryder Excursion at the Esplanade Mall, we handle both small and large orders with speed and precision. For fast, quality t-shirt printing, call Instaprint at 473-422-1011. Get your perfect print today at Instaprint. Printing done in an instant.
All right, guys, on a programming note, we just want to let you know that this program is brought to you with the kind compliments of the National Lotteries Authority. When you play games of the National Lotteries Authority, it supports sports culture and nation building, of course, also by the GTA. And if you're flying with JetBlue. Book your flight right now with JetBlue. Also by Riders E-Bike, Ride E-Bike excursions and tours. We also have to tell you about the folks at the SGU. If you are now a student of SGU and you want to rent a low-cost ride to get around for the entire semester, we have students of SGU pay half price, so you can take advantage of this opportunity right now. There's some new products that we're coming up with. Look for Ride the Waves, where we're introducing the ride on the wave. So you could ride your e-bike on the road, but this ride will take you on the wave. So look out for that coming in the later part of September. Look out for that. Ride the Wave coming to you soon. Also, guys, we got to tell you about a lot of ride stuff, a lot of Ride Diamond. This is your everything. Looking for a taxi, a cab, or even a water taxi. Now you could call up a taxi just like you do a Uber or a Lyft with Ride Diamond. It's available right now on the Apple Store, so you could go to the Apple Store and search for Ride Grenada and download the new app where you could hail a taxi, a cab, a bike. All of that stuff could be available right now. Coming soon to your Android store. All right, guys. So, as I said earlier, it seems like everyone is interested in this last segment here. It's alleged that dog poop was found in the neighbor's swimming pool, where his kids play, where his kids have fun. Again, your home is your sanctuary. Your home is where you just want to relax. And no one wants to know that if their kids go out and play, they're being harmed or endangered in any kind of way. But that was what was alleged, right? And I mean, it's disgusting to think about it, because if something like that would happen to my kid, or in my kid pool, or I don't have a pool, obviously, but if that were to happen, I would be very upset and try to figure out where the hell it's coming from. So the allegations are that it somehow came from somewhere above, right? So let's try to find out and see how we could understand this a little bit better. Marilyn, let me speak to you on that, right?
Okay.
Because you got the call. You were the one that got the call that said that from your neighbor. Tell us what transpired and how that call went down.
Okay, yeah, it was around Thursday, I think around 6:30. I got a call from Mikey. He told me that he had found, he was going to tell me he found this dog mess in his pool and on his property. So I was like, really? Wow, I didn't know about that. So I just tried to find out from him, like, when did you realize this? So he told me that he cleaned his pool like around 7 o'clock.
7
And
a.m. 7
yeah,
7
7 a.m. Yeah, 7 a.m. that day.
Okay,
And then he said he left home around 10:30. I
right.
said, oh, okay. And he said when he came back, sometime in the afternoon, he saw it there. I was like, oh, okay. And he said he believed that it was my husband that did it. I said, okay. I said, but my husband left at 9:30 and it's 6:30 now. He's still not even home. So I'm just trying to figure out how this would have transpired because
So hold on. Let's do that timestamp again. Let's do that timestamp again. At 6
7
a.m.
a.m.
At
7 a.m.
7
Yeah,
a.m.
yeah, he told me clean this
told you
pool.
that he left his property.
No, at 7 a.m. he said he cleaned his pool that
Clean his
morning.
pool. Okay, clean his pool in the morning at 7 a.m. There was no dog poop in the pool.
No, no, no.
Okay, right. Then go forward.
Right. And then he said that he would have left around 10:30. I think that's what he told me. He left around
left-
10:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then when he came back, sometime I believe in the afternoon, I can't remember when he came back, but he found it there. So I was just as perplexed. And I said to him, well, because he was accusing my husband, and I just wanted to say to him, well, from the best of my knowledge, he would have left before. He called me and he told me around 9:30 he left. Up to the conversation, 6:30, he had not come home as yet. So I was just trying to figure out, within the time frame, how it could have gotten there. And Mikey and I had a pretty good conversation. Yeah, we talked about different things that were bothering us. He said he really wants this to come to an end over the years. And we spoke and he told me different things. And I said to him as well, these were the things that affected us. It was noise, it was you flying drones. And just telling him, we had a very amicable conversation. That's what. But then about an hour, and I said to him, okay, Mikey, what I will do is I will have a conversation with my husband about this situation. So within an hour after that, I just heard some horns. Police were at the door. Police were there, blowing and getting spotlight and shining in the yard. And they want to speak to somebody on the property, and they were blowing. So eventually, I went out and to find out what it was. And the police told me that they had a complaint from Mikey, and they told me what it was about. It was about cameras as well as this thing with dog mess. So I told them, well, what I would do is when he comes home, I would the police requested it actually, that when he comes home, let them give him a call. So to the best of my understanding, when they did come home, I said, okay, this is the number. When he came home, I said, this is the number, and police would like to speak to you. And he called them. And from what I overheard, he was telling them that he didn't know anything about it, right? I think at the point in time, the police was trying to mediate as well and said, you guys need to come together and sort this out and, stuff to that effect. And I think Colin was saying, well, there's so much that has been going on and he's so hurt, and I don't know how this would be resolved, but that was basically the police was advising and advocating that.
Right.
The next thing, to the best of my knowledge, I recall I got a call that was a Thursday, so I don't think anything happened then Friday. I got a call sometime Saturday while I was at work, a message saying that all these videos are going viral and there's an accusation of, the dog mess issue, compounding everything that was there before. And Mikey went out and saw dog mess a second time on his property. So I was like, listening to that, I was like, well, the police just came and addressed that or spoke to that about the complaint. Why would this happen again? So, it just remained like that. We didn't really talk anything further about it, my husband and I. And he was out Saturday. I came in probably just after him, but he told me that he would. We pretty much met up and drove in together.
Right.
I think you right. We pretty
Yeah,
much
yeah.
drove in together. When we
I
yeah.
think I went and made a report
Oh, you made all right. He went and made a report first
to the police
to the
station
police, right?
before coming in.
Right. He made a report to the police station because then he was getting calls and threats and all of that as well. So he
Right.
made a report. But when we
And the
drove,
video was shared with me what has transpired and exploded on social media.
yeah.
And I was busy on that
But
Saturday.
anyhow, when we drove in there, we saw like 5 dogs coming from our yard. It's like my dog had a dog party. I was like,
Do you own dogs?
only one.
We only have one.
You own one dog.
Yeah, and we had about 5 in the yard. I guess, he has a party or whatever.
Do dogs often come to your yard?
Yes, dogs normally come into the yard. Actually, it's been a while. I haven't seen the amount of dog which we have seen. Was it Saturday night?
Saturday night.
Just as we came in, opened the gate. Actually, it was about 5 to 6 dogs actually was exiting.
Yeah,
our
well, you see,
property.
the dogs seem to, even though the gate is shut, because they have a gate,
Yeah.
our dog has shown other dogs how to find a way to get in. So
There's areas, there's small
so,
openings.
yeah, so the dog came. So it was with this, seeing this then, it just came to me, and I'm like,
I was
something.
thinking about it
I'm
and
like,
investigated.
yeah.
We investigated the issue.
Yeah. And I was like, something? I remember our dog, and Colin is saying, when he goes down there, he sees dog mess on the area for Joe.
Which is a lawn area.
Yeah, lawn area.
Close to, even to the wall area.
You're right.
Right.
I recall seeing our dog on many occasions, as dogs do. When he mess, he then starts scratching, and flinging back very, 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 very
Anything.
far.
And it's a soil area.
Yeah, and I then came to the realization or the understanding is, you know what? It's probably a dog, because if you think about it, if police come and warn you about doing something, you're not going to go back and do it again. But if you're an animal, you really don't know the difference. So that was
That was our conclusion,
Yeah, that
because
was the
I
conclusion.
investigated it, and matter of fact, there's dogs to different parts of the area, and I have been saying I need to get my dog out from that area. I mean, not just to avoid dropping in pools everywhere, and to really and truly to clear it right now. I haven't dumped any dog mess onto the neighbor deck or pool or whatever. I haven't. This is the last thing I would want to do, because I don't want the confusion and which I have been going through for years. I don't want that. I don't want to have to be going to court and have to be, so I wouldn't do this. So help me God, I wouldn't.
But
do
let me
this.
ask you a question. You said earlier that the neighbor has cameras pointing in your direction. Could he, from the cameras that you said that you seen, when you pass, you hear tick, 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 tick.
Right.
Would that camera be in position to see if you were to toss anything over there?
Maybe yes, probably yes, based on the distant range. Hold on, let me see that. Maybe yes, based on the camera distance range. But however, for some reason, that neighbor removed that camera there some months ago.
okay.
Okay, he removed that camera.
But when I spoke to him,
Uh-huh.
same
For some
thing.
reason,
When
I
I
didn't
spoke
know
to
why.
him, I think he told me no, that he didn't, he didn't pick it up, or his cat, whatever. He
Okay.
didn't see it. He
I
didn't.
don't know.
So in other words, he didn't see anybody doing it or whatever.
Okay. So you're saying that the dogs might have kicked the poo?
Well, I
That's
know
a
that
possibility.
that's a possibility,
That's a
and I've
normal
seen
thing.
my dog do it.
Yeah.
I've seen my dog
And-
poo and scratch.
Yeah, and he scratched very aggressively. Sometimes 1 kick, 2 kick, 3 kicks. It depends. But we really don't know. We have analyzed it. We look at it. I look at it carefully, and I believe that can be a scenario of what must have happened. And this, a matter of fact, this, I think every August month it appears to me, knowing my dog, this is the breeding season. Okay, so they comes in, because last year my dog disappeared. Carnivals is like he go and play mass. Okay, so I don't know, but this is just our conclusion. That's the most we could have said.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, a lot said here, guys. You know, what I want to talk about in this final segment is seeing who is a mutual person that could sit amongst the neighbors, whether it be a pastor, some sort of mediator, a mutual friend, who know both you and your neighbor, that could really fix that problem. Because I see the tense, I see the tension between you both, and I think now is a is a time. If no other time, now is the best time that is sorted. I know you spoke to someone, you spoke about someone that is some sort of mutual friend that you could contact. Um, have you tried to make that connection to see how that could be done, or if it could be done?
Yes, yet again, Junior and the listening audience, I am more than desperate. I am more than willing, with an open heart, open mind, and really and truly, for years of being harassed and tortured and being criminalized to some extent, I am willing to make that change, because I don't want to continue with this. Hey, at this stage in my life, I don't need this. And I don't need it now. I don't need it moving forward. I want to be at peace. I want to create. I want to be able to live the life I used to live in the village, be able to go out there to help a neighbor, being able to go clear the drain, cut some trees, and being able to assist my neighbors. Okay. And this is what I will definitely, my wife and I, we are working towards that. And we really want to regain our grounds within the village and rebuild our relationship within ourselves and our neighbors. And we are working towards doing that. I have reached out.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take a final commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to open up the phone lines and get some calls, just about 2 or 3 calls. And we urge, if you call in, please be respectful when you call. We're going to take a quick break and come right back. You're watching Ride Along Live. The number that you call right now or during the break, 718-701-5720. 718-701-5720. We'll be right back.
To get awesome at Ariza from now to September 30th, you can get a loan up to the value of $25,000, $35,000, or $50,000. Awesome! You think that's all the awesomeness? Apply and get your loan in no time. Awesome! Now you can graduate, celebrate, rejuvenate, and send your kids through the school gate looking awesome. Join today, or members come in to access your awesome August loan. Terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union, your financial freedom, your future. Trust me, things are about to get awesome.
Riders Excursion and Tours weekly e-bike rides. Gather your family and friends for an unforgettable ride through stunning landscapes. Book your adventure today at ridersabike.com or call 473-422-1011. Don't miss out. Let's ride.
Again, welcome back to Ride Along Live, and this is our final segment. Don't forget that this program is brought to you with the kind compliments of Ride E-Bike Excursions and Tours. If you're looking to rent an e-bike, check us out in the Esplanade Mall. Yeah, man, gather your family and friends and get on one of those e-bikes. Take your wrong tongue. It's amazing. Also, guys, if you are a SGU student, pay half price for a long-term e-bike rental. You could do that right now. You could call the number 473-422-1011, Slower, yeah, 473-422-1011. Get your e-bike at half price for long term for the SGU students. Also, guys, coming soon, we have the Ride Wave, our brand new. It's not e-bike for the road, but it's bike for the water. Yeah, that's coming soon. You guys want to check that out. It's coming pretty soon. A new opportunity to bring your family and friends and have a great time. It's Ride the Waves, a brand new product from Ride. Also, guys, we got to tell you about Ride Diamond, and that is available in the Apple Store right now, right? But, however, some key features have not been unlocked as yet. So you could go to the Apple Store right now and search for Ride Grenada. Download. We have a social media platform on there. The ride share where you could call a taxi. That is not unlocked as yet. We're waiting for it to go through the process of being released in the Google Store, and then it would all be launched and all be released. But you could download the app and check out some of the nice features you could get right now from Ride Diamond, available in your Apple Store. Check it out right now, Ride Grenada. Let's go to the phone lines right now. We got a caller on the line, I believe. Let me see. We got a caller on the line. Let's go to the phone line right now. Caller, you live? Where are you calling us from?
From Brooklyn.
Hello?
Oh, can you hear me?
Hearing you kind of crazy and funny. Hold on. Let me see if it's on my end. Caller, try again.
Can you hear me?
Nah, I ain't hearing you good. Okay, let me put you on the regular speaker. All right, caller, you have to go ahead, caller.
All right. Junior, I'm just calling to say a couple things. This situation between Mikey and the couple has gone to court on 2 occasions. On both occasions, Mikey won those court cases. Your good friend and friend to the show, which was also the lawyer to the gentleman now on the show, had asked the court to instate a restraining order in place for Mikey and his family because the court believed that this man was a threat to Mikey and his family, not the other way around. That restraining order was put in place until expired. Now, everybody makes mistakes. Nobody is perfect. Sir, if you are a genuine human being and you realize that you have made a mistake, you could get out of your living room right now, walk next door to Mikey, apologize, and clear up the situation. Everybody that knows Mikey knows Mikey's not a bacchanal person. He's not a confrontational person. Yes, people will have their ups and downs. If somebody's attacking you, you are going to react XYZ. This is taking a toll on Mikey, his wife, his kids. It's taking a toll on this gentleman's relationship and life as well. It doesn't take nothing. You don't need no mediator to apologize to somebody. If you are genuinely sorry for your actions and you want better, you get up from the seat that you are sitting in, you walk over there and you apologize and you try to clear the air. You don't need no pastor to tell you to do good. You don't need no teacher, you don't need no priest. It's all within you. If you want to do good, get up and do good.
All right. Thank you so much, caller. Thank you so much. Comments? Yeah?
Hey, Junior, I have to say, I got to say to this caller, she made a good point. I would be very open here. My heart is open. I'm warm. I'm ready to accept, to welcome either one. Make the approach and solve the issue. I'm telling you, I am beyond a mountain to accept and to mend solution. However, I trust that my partner or neighbor is willing to do that. I have given him hints to do that. I've given him clues to do that. So things happen. Hey, Julian, listen, I am willing. We are willing to do that. And we are open to welcome each other in open arms and to deal with all the issues that we are confronted with and dealing with presently.
Okay. All right. That sounds like a positive way forward. All right. So he's agreeing that he will make that move to try to mend relationship. Caller live, where are you calling us from?
Yeah,
all right, hold on. Let me put you on speaker. For some reason, I'm hearing you like a robot. It's my line, so let me put you on speaker. Caller, go right ahead.
Right, I just want to make a quick comment to both gentlemen
have done well for themselves. Mikey and Colin, both of them, I think they're both decent gentlemen, but they have a conflict. And conflict, some people look at conflict as a bad thing, but a conflict is actually a good thing depending on how it's handled. You might be surprised if it's handled properly. Both gentlemen could resolve this and be powerful friends moving forward to the future. I want to say that I wish both of them well. I hope they resolve this matter. And I hear Colin is taking responsibility, and both gentlemen have to take responsibility and accountability for this. I'm not going to be blasting any one of them, Mikey, neither Colin. And I'm hearing Colin taking responsibility. His comments, he's taking accountability, which is important. I hope Mikey is doing the same thing too. What they need to be aware of is that a lot of the interventions is what can cause the problem, whether it's the workmen inciting violent sentiments, whether it's the members of the public. A lot of people on the platform are promoting a lot of hate and lynch mob mentality, taking one side and that sort of thing, and they're not helping the situation. I'm hearing people branding his wife, Colin's wife, B-John, that B-John. That kind of an input is not helping. That is what will exacerbate the situation. The negative comments, most of the time, the problem with two people, when there's a problem, isn't necessarily the two people that cause the problem. It's another person who intervenes and incites sentiments that creates tension between the two people. I think both gentlemen who have done well have the maturity to solve the problem. I saw a nice comment from Akima Paul, our outstanding individual, who made a suggestion that she could help them resolve the conflict. I think what is needed is a private discussion, move away from the public, move away from these negative comments, whether it's the public, whether it's the workmen, whether it's who. And Mikey and Colin sit together with a third party and just talk as men and resolve this issue. That's what needs to happen to move forward. Most of the time is the foreign intervention that is exacerbating the problem and inciting it. Somebody might say, okay, somebody who might be friends with Colin might take issue with Mikey based on what Colin may tell the person. Somebody who's friends with Mikey would take issue with Colin based on what Mikey tells the person, that sort of thing. And that is what the foreign intervention is, what exacerbates the situation. So I wish both gentlemen all the best, and I wish that they talk to each other and resolve this matter and move forward and stop this the intervention of hate comments targeted at either one of them. That does not help. Good luck, gentlemen.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. What's your thoughts?
I would like to extend a deep appreciation for the caller who made this brilliant suggestion and comment. He has a great point, because I could say this to the audience and to us here. All of this that's steam, this is all because of people involved, people saying this, people putting each other against each other, like the neighbors around here, which already been involved, and it's dispute between persons, putting persons against persons. We are willing, this house where I live, I have invited many of the neighbors in the past to partake in Independence Oil Down, who bring drinks. We share our kitchen with them. We drink with them. They invited us. They're a particular neighbor. She invited us. She know the issues. They know the issues, so to speak. And we share dinner together. We talk, we laugh. So we are willing. I am willing, but I think, as I've said, a lot of time is neighbors, friends, influencers, high places, low places. And you know what, Junior, something about me. Let me tell you something about me and the audience. I'm one kind of guy. I'm the kind of guy who stays on my ground. I stand up to what I believe. I support to what I believe. And I expect a level of standard to an extent in whichever way situation. I have been a photographer for many years. I have been out there providing a service, going all the way to ensure my clients are happy and I give a good service. At this point, so I kind of get lost. Marlene just guided ahead.
Yeah, no, but I guess the main thing that we need to get from this conversation right here, and the purpose of me even doing this, is to find a common ground where you are saying that you are willing to extend a hand and forget about the ego, because there are a lot of ego involved here. Whether the wife have to step in or the wives have to step in and start the conversation, and then probably that would open up the gate for a conversation between you and your neighbor so that you could mend those stuff. Because as it is right now, where it became so physical, and it probably would get worse if you continue, it's not a good life for you, it's not a good life for him. Both of you guys are miserable, and that's not the way you want to live. Let's go back to the phone line.
Junior, I would just say, I would just say, Mikey and I had a call up to Thursday, and we spoke very amicably, so that could be extended to Cullen as well. Cullen could, just takes communication, and what came out of that conversation, as I said to Mikey, these are the things that you have been doing in the past that affected us, that affected me, that whatever.
Right.
And he even gave explanations in some instances why he did this. Because one thing came up was like, I don't like you flying a drone and looking down on a property. And he was explaining, well, this and that and whatever. So it's communication, seriously.
Correct.
It starts with communication.
And nobody say all you have to be best friends. Nobody say all
No. We don't expect that. But I think we need to be manly, stand up to the level that we are at, and deal with it. You have a family, I have a family. Hey, we have a future. You got to live your life. I live my life. But we need to have that discipline and respect and understanding each other. And I'm good.
Absolutely. Let's go back to the phone line. We've got another call on line real quick. Caller, your life. Where are you calling us from?
Junior, good evening.
Hey. Hey, sir.
What going on, partner?
There.
My voice can't hide, so I just do people the pleasure of identifying myself.
Yes.
My name is Jason.
Jason Skeet. Yes, sir.
Yes. I have known Cullen from since childhood days. Myself and Cullen, we were actual neighbors growing up as youths at one point on Cooper Hill. I know when Cullen decided to get into photography. So that is how far back. I know Mikey, obviously from the profession. I've known Mikey for more than 2 decades. I knew when Mikey started radio, that kind of thing. And I've seen the growth and development of both young men. And what bleeds me is that this confrontation, as somebody who was no stranger to confrontation, it bleeds me to see that these two young men has gotten to this point. And maybe I was not going to be having this conversation 20 years ago. Maybe I would have told two of them all to come in our room, that we cough it out and I will be the referee. Mm-hmm. But age brings reasoning. And what I would say is that these two young men, the personalities of these two young men, as far as I know, has been one and the same. I don't know Mikey to be somebody looking for confusion. I don't know Cullen to be somebody looking for confusion. And I firmly believe, as Royal Titus says, and I always say it, most of the times when two people are having a confrontation, the problem is the third person. Because if you're going to be talking to everybody else except the person that you have a problem with, then you ain't solving the problem.
Right.
Right. And I believe as men, as young men, Mikey and Cullen needs to have a conversation. Mikey probably don't be cordial to his wife. Hi, good morning, good afternoon. But if you're going to have a conversation about what you did and why I did what I did and that kind of stuff, that needs to be a conversation between two men.
Right.
Right. It's time now. There are times when you have to show your cojones for the right reasons. Right. And this is one of them. So I believe that they need to have that conversation. And they need to have that conversation openly and honestly. Because knowing these two young men will be excellent neighbors as far as I know. They are in similar fields. They both love behind the camera. They both are passionate about their profession. Grenada will be a much better place if these two young men come together and work together and live together as neighbors. The neighborhood and the community will develop. And these two young men have a whole lot to offer Grenada. And I believe that it is important that they put aside their egos, put aside that pride, and have a sit down and say, hey, you know what? Move away from everybody. Don't bring all your wife. Don't bring all your children. Go somewhere. Two all you agree to meet somewhere and say, hey, let's talk as big men and let's deal with this and let's move forward. When we leave this table, we leave this table with an understanding and an agreement that this is how we're going to move forward as neighbors, right? And I believe that is what is required. I mean, there's nothing bad here, you know. Nobody killed nobody shoot nobody.
Well, we don't want it to get to that point, of course.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. What we are dealing with here is almost trivial. It's just egos getting in the way and third parties that have no bearing on the situation, that are exacerbating the situation.
Right.
So these two men needs to move away from everybody.
Yeah.
And sit down, and when all you go back home, report to all your wives.
Right.
Be the man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And anything other than that, I go buy the bank, I go get a loan, I go buy the two property and let two of them move out from me.
Yes, it's true.
What you want me to say about that?
Okay.
What you want me to say? You know, but on a serious note, I mean, I think that is all it is. Come on, guys. People falling down, people dying, people. I mean, come on. I mean, hey, let me tell you something. Tomorrow is too late. Come on, guys. Let's just do this. And let's look back at this and laugh, and we will sell the rights and make a movie out of it later on.
I hear that. Especially the Dogman spot. Colin, any response?
Listen, that's a beautiful comment from Jason Skit. Jason has been a very wonderful young man and still is. Yes, we grew up in the same area. His family, my family there. And I truly admire Jason. And I truly appreciate the comment which you have made here. We need to step up as big men and take responsibility and reconnect, because this world, we are to die tomorrow. We need to, embrace the moment that we have rather than fighting each other down each day over some, whether it's dog poo, whether it's property boundary, whether it's a drain, whether it's gravel, sand. We're going to die and leave this behind, and someone else is going to deal with that. So I think we need to really step up. I am ready. I have always been ready, Junior George, and right along live audience. I've always been ready. I think people sometimes see me as a person who is arrogant, bully, and want to control. That's not me. Okay? That is not me. I didn't grow up in that era, bro. I never did. Okay? And I would choose to really want to connect as long as there's an open chapter, there are dialogues, there are understanding, there are grounds that we can mend this and move on. I don't want to be having to deal with situation where affecting my wife. I've been affected yet again. Police are involved, family are involved, neighbor are involved, the court system is involved. This is a matter where big people need to stand up and realize I got an obligation. He got an obligation to stand alone and to be a man and face each other. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, we need to flush it. Honestly, I am flush. I am ready to start and roll right now. I am totally flush. I have always envisioned a friendship. I've always envisioned a mutual reconnection, which we have never had before, and to accept and to reconnect. So I trust by God's grace that we can come to an end.
And the one I would just say, right? And for that resolution to happen and to really, they really connect and stuff like that, that would be showing that God can make miracles and God's name will be glorified for all that they have gone through. And for this situation to just turn around where they can say to each other, you know what? Let us mend fences. All we can say is to God be the glory, and we are happy that would be achieved.
Right. Okay. We'll take two more calls, and then we're going to wrap it up. We're already over time. Caller, where are you calling us from?
Yes, hi, Gina. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to the couple.
Yes.
Yes, I watched the entire live. I must say, I haven't seen the videos that Mikey put out there. But from my perspective, I must say, the situation is very sad and it's very serious. And to see that this issue has been going on for all these years the animosity that is built up between both parties, I think it reaches to a point where now it comes down to maturity. It comes down to maturity. With that being said, although I do not see the video of Mikey, I must say it reaches to a point where it got physical by Mr. Collins. And I think, Mr. Collins, honestly speaking, I give you wrong for it getting to the physical state. I think as a grown man, you should have been able to compose yourself. With that said, also, I think it takes two to tango. I don't think it was all your fault. I think maybe some of it was instigated by both parties, and with both parties reacting in a manner that really took it to this level. And as an adult, I'm trying to put myself in your situation where, you know, the music and the cutting off your properties, I can understand how aggravating that is for a person. I really sympathize with you and your wife, and I hope whatever it is Mikey and his wife went through as well because of the situation, I hope you both can rise above it, treat the situation as adults, and remember, Mikey has small kids, and this is not good for the kids. I don't know if Mr. Collins and his wife have young kids as well, but it's not healthy for anybody involved. And I think at this point, you both should really try to come sort of understanding where you squash it before somebody lose their life.
Right, absolutely.
Thank you.
And that's what's important for our intervention. Yeah, go ahead.
Junior and the audience, the point she made regarding Mikey has kids. Let me tell you, I have a daughter who's 26. That's my own daughter. But with the neighbor kids, I really feel it for them. I tell you, I meditate on them. I pray for them, even though too, because the environment is toxic. It's no good. It's really no good. And I overheard many times one of those boys. I see his action, and it's no good. It is no good, and it's been bred as a result of the family.
Yeah. We don't want to talk about. We don't want to get the kids involved.
I understand, but it is what it is.
Right. Let's take a last call. Caller, you live. Where are you calling us from? Hello. Caller, hello. Now you hold on. You sound muffled. You sound like you're underwater or something, like under a bridge or something. You sound muffled.
Hold on. Is it good now?
I hear you a little bit better. Go ahead.
Okay, what I want to say, this is a very sad situation.
Right.
But just one thing to point out is that when Mr. Perth spoke about the dog, if a dog is kicking grass or kicking dog nest, then the dog would throw down grass. You will see grass and dog in the pool as well.
Caller, I want to. Here's what I understand. Hold on. Not to cut you, right?
No,
I want to kind of move past that, right? I want to really get past that, and I want to try to figure out solution, because we cannot keep staring into what has transpired and not figure out how they going forward to live as neighbors. So I don't want to start instigating back all of this and that. I understand what you're saying, but I think we passed that stage where we want to go ahead and re-articulate back that same thing again. So if you understand what I'm saying, I understand what you're saying, but let's see how we could go forward and what have advised us going forward.
Okay, well, would you have Mikey on the live also, or two of them on the live?
No, if I have no problem with having Mikey on the live to give his side. I figure Mikey gave his side on his platform, and my producer or any one of us would be more than delighted to have him if you want to share his perspective and his point of view. Okay. I have absolutely no problem with that. All right? All right, thank you so much. All right. I said that will be the last call. This will be the last call. Well, the person hung up. All right, cool. So listen. Colin, you agreed that you, for the sake of just your mental state, you would try to see how you could mend relationship. That doesn't mean that you guys have to be best friends, or that doesn't mean that you guys have to drink together or anything like that. But you guys are living next to each other, and at the end of the day, like my neighbor, I'll tell you a quick story about my neighbor. My neighbor across there that lives across there. When I first moved in, we had problems, and I don't know why, but we just had problems. But we were purposely able to mend that relationship after a family, a neighbor like two houses down that way, his house burnt. And when his house burnt, we had to run and give the man blanket and think it was the coldest day of the year. And we had to run and give him blanket. And I said to myself, I said, listen, we have to fix that relationship with that neighbor over there. Because if a situation like that happened, who's going to run and give me a blanket? That would be the only person there. If I locked my keys in the house or something like that, I might have to beg at the neighbor over there for a night rest. So for the sake of just civility, you guys need to fix that problem. Doesn't mean that you guys have to be best friends. Doesn't mean that you guys have to drink together or go to party together or dive in his pool or anything like that. But just the sake of just mental state, I think that some kind of resolution have to be met so you guys could just survive.
As I've said again, to reiterate, Junior and the audience, I am humble and calm, and I'm willing to continue that way because I need my life back. I need the simplicity. I need the peace of my life. I need a clear meditation, a clear conscience. And I don't need the fear to carry on my life, neither my wife, okay? And neither my mother-in-law, neither my tenants or the neighbors around. This is a very clear crystal ball that I am willing, as long as he's willing, and he seek the counsel that he needs, and I do the part. And a matter of fact, after this show, after this live,
right,
I will have someone start to act on my behalf and on the neighbor behalf, and to come to normalize and to smooth off the issues and to get rid of all the dust or cluster, whatever it is.
Right.
I am that big right now.
Absolutely.
And I have always been like that before too.
Okay.
I must say, go on.
Uh-huh.
I think, and let me give it to you. You have given me more time. Thank you.
Right. Well, we're over time now, but that is at least progress. At least it's progress. Okay. Closing words, guys. We got to wrap up. We got to get out of here. Closing words before we do so. Marilyn, you want to?
Please.
I just want to say that, Junior, I'm very glad that you, I was just very glad that you reached out to us, and that we are able to, have this live session where we too can say, our side of the story and how we feel and what we've been going through. I agree with all the callers in the sense that, as big men, they should be able to sort this out, and you really don't want to continue going on this way. And I hope that coming out of this, there will be calls made, and the process of resolution and conflict resolution will end. I just wanted to add something else as well. Through this whole situation, when it started, I was really concerned about, these videos going this way and all of these, because I'm getting all these calls. And I did make some calls myself, and I was told that the 2014 Act, the Electronic Act of 2014, has been repealed in Grenada, and therefore persons are free to post what they want without any recourse. And I just started thinking, and I said, well, today is a neighbor, but suppose tomorrow is an employee and an employer. Suppose it's someone else. I am offended by something that someone did to me, and I just go and post. And how I saw the situation go, it's like you open Pandora's box, and once you've opened it, it's like kind of like, how do you draw back in, So I'm thinking, and I'm saying that, it's best if persons don't let situations get to this level, because you see, just posting things online could have a lot of consequences, and, threats and things could happen. And who's to say at the end of the day, as you said, when third parties come in, their problems, Mikey and Colin could have a conversation and sort all of this out. And you have situations where third parties are still fighting at each other, or he get back with he and all this, and I just said that it was a bad precedence, I thought, where you just let, because of the act being repealed, this is allowed. But I just think people should think a little bit further down the line of the repercussions, because once you have something started, or once you have something like this where it starts as like a standard or a benchmark, and people then say, okay, so I can do this as well too. And as I said, it's now starting with neighbors, and it could go further. It could go with disgruntled employees. It could grow with disgruntled just individuals, friends that became bad friends, anything, and all your secrets are out. So it's just something to think about before we do stuff like this. That's just what I wanted to add.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Guys, do the right thing. Fix that, all right? Colin, you know what? I think you know what you have to do already. All right? Let's end it right here. And best of luck going forward, fixing that relationship, all right? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very, Junior George and Right Along Live, and the platform, the opportunity to do this. I think this is the best moment for me. This is the best moment for my wife. This is the best moment for everyone. I trust that we are willing, and we definitely would want to mend this issue and move on with our life without having complication of the back and forth of the past. And thanks a million for having us on this platform. We are truly grateful and appreciate the fact that we are here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Julie.
All right. No problem. Quick commercial break. We go back with the final words. Don't move. We'll be right back.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians! From wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up. Several notches. But the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
I want you folks to play these 3 games from the NLA. Daily Pick 3 cash flow and play with. You will be supporting sports and culture, nation building and our future. So go out and play, folks, make it a must. You will see what the National Lottery is doing for us. When you play Pick 3 cash flow and play with, the NLA will support you all the way.
Starting September 30th, Monday to Friday, these 3 games will be drawn mid-morning, 9:45 a.m., midday, 12:45 p.m., and evenings, 7:45 p.m. The National Lotteries, supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Sunday money day.
Get awesome! At Ariza from now to September 30th, you can get a loan up to the value of $25,000, $35,000, or $50,000. Awesome! You think that's all the awesomeness? Apply and get your loan in no time. Awesome! Now you can graduate, celebrate, rejuvenate, and send your kids through the school gate looking awesome. Join today, or members come in to access your awesome August loan. Terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union, your financial freedom, your future. Trust me. Think
today. Located inside Ryder Excursion at the Esplanade Mall, we handle both small and large orders with speed and precision. For fast, quality t-shirt printing, call Instaprint at 473-422-1011. Get your perfect print today at Instaprint. Printing done in an instant.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program today. Don't forget you can join us in the morning times on Tuesday and on Friday for the Wake Up Club with Kirk Sittahal. It starts at 6 a.m., guys. You got to check it out. Kirk Sittahal in the morning at 6 a.m. That's on Tuesday and on Friday. And we're thinking about adding an additional day, which we're going to tell you more about. All right? Right Along Live. Also, guys, you got to pick up JetBlue. Don't forget, if you're flying to the Caribbean, if you're flying around the world, you got to fly with JetBlue. Yeah, let JetBlue take you there. Book at jetblue.com. That's jetblue.com. Yeah, JetBlue. That's how you fly, man. Guys, if you're looking for a t-shirt printing, yeah, you're looking for t-shirt printing, you know, like printing done in an instant. Get it quick, get it fast. Walk into the Esplanade Mall right now with your logo or with just your idea, just a thought in your head, and get it printed at Instaprint Grenada. Call for more information, 422-1011. Get your logo t-shirt printing at Instaprint. It's inside the Esplanade Mall. Guys, talking about inside the Esplanade Mall, are you looking for like a really nice headphone? I'm talking about these Think Plus from Lenovo. These headphones are amazing. It is super duper 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 amazing. You could get those headphones right now inside of the Ride kiosk number 3 inside of the Esplanade Mall. Get it gone. Also, guys, we're telling you about Ride e-bike rentals and tours. You could get your e-bike rental. And for the folks in SGU, yeah, half price for a long-term e-bike rental inside of the Esplanade Mall. The call for more information, number 422-1011. That's 422-1011. Yeah. Again, thanks for watching, guys. On behalf of all of our production crew here at Ride Along Live, I'm Junior George. I'll catch you guys again tomorrow, mañana. See ya. Hey, big up to Lois JJ, our senior executive producer. Thank you so much, Lois JJ. And to all the team and advertisers at Ride Along Live. Peace out. See you tomorrow. Good night.